Today we're going to talk about why it's important to train your spine specifically. If we look at the spine model here, we can see that there are numerous spaces in between the bones, in between the vertebrae. Each of those spaces is an opportunity for movement. It's also a place where we can risk losing some freedom. Because if we can't move one part of our spine, that means that there's a place where we're not transferring energy well in the spine. And because the spine works together, that means that some other spaces may be transferring more energy or accepting more force than they otherwise would be if it dissipated well over the whole length of the spine. This can be an issue for several reasons, but mainly because, for example, if we don't move right here, then that means that tissue can't be healthy. That means that tissue can't get, go to the length it's supposed to. It's not going to contract to the places it should be. It's not going to be, having fluid pass through it the way we want it to. So for those reasons, if we just look at that reason in terms of having healthy tissue and having healthy spine, we need the spine to articulate, we need the spine to move, and all of the spaces where those tissues are connected are important. The spine is also connected to a lot of things, for example, the pelvis. And if you would look at here, the shoulder blades. So the spine can often affect how those things move, and those things can often affect how the spine moves. So if we understand our spine well, then we can know what our spine does in relation to those things. If we understand our spine well and we can control it well and it's strong and we feel free using it, then that means that's going to increase the benefit at the hips and the shoulders and the shoulder blades, and it gives an overall greater effect. The spine is one of the most important things that we should understand in our bodies because it's literally the middle of our torso. It's where the information is passed through. All these things are of the utmost importance for human health. We can also go further than that and think about what we commonly consider training for the spine or training that will affect the spine in traditional exercise. Planks, pull-off press, deadlifts, squats. These type of exercises are often cited as being good for your back or to make your back healthy. But if we think about that for a second and we think about what those exercises ask us for, those exercises ask us to keep the spine in sort of a neutralish position, and then it asks us to either hold that position or move the limbs in relation to the spine while the spine stays still. So I would argue that's more like anti-training than actual training of the spine. Because when we think about training in relation to any other joint, we think about it this way. How do I make my bicep go through this full range of motion, right? Or how do I get my squat all the way down and up? Or things like that. That should also be applied here because essentially when we do exercises, what we're doing is we're training the motions that we think those muscles facilitate given the space between the two bones that we're talking about, whatever joint that is. That shouldn't be different for the spine. So for those reasons, you should train your spine specifically. Furthermore, if there is a place where your spine doesn't move well, then you're going to gloss over that if you do these larger exercises and don't specifically address exactly what's happening at your spine. And if you do what we consider traditional training that affects the spine, those things don't allow you to understand exactly what's happening at each part of your spine. And in many cases, like I said before, you are asked to actually not move your spine while you do the other things. It's not that it's not important to be able to control a neutralish position or control your spine in that position. However, that's not where it should live, and that's not where it should begin and end. There's so much more that we can benefit from understanding our spines well, and this course is going to help you do that.
Upgrade your shit.